be a great wrestling podcast, and you can believe in that.
I knew he was going to do it. I knew.
This is OT3.
Prepare for launch. 3, 2, 1.
And fantastic and safe Thanksgiving with their family. And with that being said, I'm glad to have Paul here with me tonight. Paul, how was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, man, it was awesome. How was yours?
It was good, man. It was good. Got to spend it with the family, so it was a nice Thanksgiving. And, of course, my other co-host is here tonight, Matt. How we doing tonight, Matt?
All other wrestling podcasts can rest in peace. All right, let's start the show.
Matt, how you doing tonight?
This is scary.
I'm doing great. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. Happy Thanksgiving. How was your Thanksgiving?
Everyone.
You had a good Thanksgiving?
I had a great Thanksgiving. I was in Cincinnati.
Yeah, and with that being said, let's talk about Survivor Series because we've already lasted longer than Brock Lesnar did in his match against Goldberg.
Ouch.
So it really only took like a minute and a half?
It was a minute 25. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, the match was a minute 25. Lesnar came out of the gates trying to, show dominance by picking, Goldberg up and backing him into the corner. Goldberg pushed him right on the ground. Lesnar smiled, turned his back on Goldberg. There was the first spear. Lesnar got back up, took the second spear. Goldberg hits him with a jackhammer. 1, 2, 3, the match is over.
Oh, wow.
Lesnar did not gain an offensive move. If you want to count that attempt at a takedown, that's about the only thing he did. Really wasn't much going on. I will say this. I did not expect that to happen. I watched it about 4 or 5 times to try and realize, like, what just happened. That was my reaction. What did I just watch? I've been waiting 12 years to see this, and this is how it goes down.
Can we tell what happened to me during the match? What my dumbness did?
Oh,
so
yeah,
wait,
Matt,
was this like a championship match, or was this like the headlining match or something like that?
It wasn't a championship match, but it was the match that it was the first match they had. It was the first match Goldberg had in 12 years. And they had this match at WrestleMania 12 years ago. It was the two of them. Goldberg won the first match, so this was like the chance for Lesnar to even the odds, and Lesnar just came out of the gate and couldn't even get anything going.
Oh gosh!
Should we tell what happened to me during this match and how mad I was?
Would you like? You want to tell, or do you want me to tell?
So Goldberg's in the middle of his entrance, so I'm like, cool. Let me go do a bathroom break. In the bathroom, I see on my phone, crap, they're in the ring. So I turn on the WWE app, and the WWE Network on the app, which you can get for $9.99, and it's on the replay. I'm like, what? What do you mean it's on the replay? Goldberg's in the ring with his son, so I had to back it up, and I'm like, I really just missed this match because I went to the bathroom, which I thought I can come back in time and watch. And Anthony and them are sitting there yelling for me, and they don't realize where I'm at, and I come back, and it's just like, the match is over. I'm like, yeah, I just missed the whole thing because I was on the crapper.
We thought Matt was just like super excited that Goldberg won. So we're like, Matt, what are you thinking, Matt, like yelling, all of us, Matt, what are you doing, Matt, what are you doing? Nothing. Matt comes back. He's like, you hear him like off of the headset, like from away, like, what's going on? Why is he in the ring already? And then he grabs the headset. He's like, what did I miss? And we're like, you missed the whole match. So it was pretty funny. To see that Matt missed the whole thing.
I remember when Mike Tyson was in his heyday, there was he knocked that guy out like in 30 seconds. I forgot who it was, but my uncle, he was the one that like had made this whole big thing. He was buying the match on TV, and he invited everybody over. Everybody was there. We were having fun. And then, the thing's about to start, and he's like, just like Matt, he's like, I got to go take a piss. He runs over to take a piss, and then everybody just starts screaming, and he comes out with his pants half down. Oh, no! It was hilarious.
Oh, man.
But that was, so you're not the only one,
yeah,
Matt.
It happens. It happens. But overall, like I said, it was really a huge shock factor. No way did I think that was going to happen. Did I want the match to last longer? Absolutely. Do I want to see a third one? No. It does no justice to Lesnar to have a third one because he's already lost twice. So yeah, he wins another match, and then it's 2-1. So what are you going to get a fourth match so you could try and tie it again? I just don't really see the appeal now in a third match. I think this was done to kind of make Lesnar look like me and you talked about by having Lesnar lose. It makes Lesnar show that he is beatable. He's not the only, he's not unstoppable. And it makes Goldberg, look strong going into the Rumble. You got to think he's one of the early favorites now that he announced that he is going to be in the Royal Rumble, and it wasn't just a one-time match. So I know you're personally very excited about that because we talked about that from before when we saw him in 2K. You think this means he's coming back for another run, not just another match. And now we do know for sure he will be in at least one more match minimum, but you got to think it's setting up for a match at WrestleMania, whether it is the match, unfortunately, like with Lesnar again, which I don't necessarily want to see, or maybe a feud with someone else that we don't necessarily have any idea about yet.
Well, let's talk about, real quick during the match. Those spears he gave Lesnar, they were no joke. Like Lesnar looked like he would legitimately got the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah.
Those spears looked like they were a little. I mean, and the thing is, Goldberg and Lesnar, they're good friends outside the ring because of MMA and everything. So I'm sure Lesnar said, "Hey, look, do what you gotta do, make people think that you're actually gonna beat me." And Lesnar was probably like, whoa, too much there, Goldie.
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw it, but he did he flipped Goldberg the bird at one point. So I don't know if maybe he hit him a little too stiff and he didn't like it too much, but yeah, it was definitely it was good to see Goldberg back, no matter what the occasion was, minute match, 10-minute, 15, 30-minute, classic, whatever it was, but it was nice to see Goldberg back, and I'm glad we will be seeing more of him at the Royal Rumble. So, yeah, I mean, do you have anything else you want to add about that?
I love the result. I think I picked Goldberg, I believe.
Yes,
I want to say I did.
I'm pretty sure I know I picked Lesnar. So I was, like I said, I personally was very surprised to see not only that he won, but just the nature of it happening.
I think I picked some pretty good picks during Survivor Series.
Yes, and Matt would like to go ahead. Matt, why don't you talk about that before we go any further? Matt made sure that it was known. Oh, I picked this one. Anthony, you didn't pick this one. Oh,
so
I
the
picked this
one that I
picked,
picked,
this one.
where we both disagreed on, was actually the tag team one, which was a great match, by the way. First off, New Day got eliminated in the first 3 minutes, so that was the best part of the whole match. They were gone. But the surviving team for Raw was Cesaro and Sheamus, which I picked on the show, and you said, nope, they're going to go after each other and something's going to happen. But they survived, and then they got a championship match on Raw the following day. And what happened?
The New Day, once again, does their
shocker
silly undermining stuff with... Are they heels or they faces now? I don't understand. What are they trying to do here? They had to use these backhanded tactics in order to win the match. Not only did Woods get involved, but then I'm pretty sure didn't whatchamacallit try to get in the ring again too, Big E or something like that and then Kofi got him with the roll up. So both of them, they had to have Xavier get involved again, and they just want them to break the record, man. I'm done with trying to assume when they're going to lose the titles. When the record gets broken, then we'll talk about when they're going to lose. But until then, I mean, they have another match tonight now for the tag team titles. I'm not even going to stress that they're going to win that match.
Who are they playing? Who are they wrestling tonight?
Gallows and Anderson.
What?
Yeah. So I don't even, like I said, I don't even want to make any kind of rulings on what's going to happen. Let's talk about the SmackDown and Raw tag team traditional match. Like you said, Cesaro and Sheamus were the last ones left. On the SmackDown side, it was the Usos. I thought that the two of them had the two teams had a great final, 5 minutes or so between the two of them. And American Alpha looked great in the match. I think it was a very, very good showing. Even Gallows and Anderson had a good showing as well. So I think that a lot of the teams were showcased. Obviously, besides Breezango, they really were kind of just eliminated quick, and they were really just there to be a comedy bit.
You mean the porn stars?
Yeah. So, I liked the match overall, though. I definitely do. I think that it was great. But speaking of tag teams, can we just talk about this match real quick? I know we're not talking about TakeOver right now, but that match at TakeOver between the Revival and DIY was the match of the weekend.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
The 2 out of 3 falls match, and I'm very happy to say Gargano and Ciampa are now the tag team champions in NXT. We'll probably save NXT for next week. We'll talk a little more about it since we have Survivor Series, but I had to make a mention of that since we're talking about tag teams. What a match. Well-deserved for Gargano and Ciampa, and the match of the weekend, and one of the best matches I've seen all year.
Oh, that just real quick, just TakeOver card was great. Let's go ahead and we're not going to get into each match. We'll recap it. We had new tag team champs. The Authors of Pain won Dusty Road Classic, which we both agreed on. I thought there was going to be a little heel thing where they smashed the trophy or something. Didn't happen. Bobby Roode beat Ty Dillinger, and then Ty Dillinger had a standing ovation, which makes me think they're saying he's the next one to be called up. So
Yep.
don't see where that someone who hasn't won in 2 years. So
Yeah.
whatever. Oscar beat Mickey James, which we predicted, and then the one we didn't predicted, Samoa Joe
Beat Shinsuke Nakamura,
to be the first ever two-time NXT champion. So,
which makes me think that Joe is there to stay in NXT for longer than we expected.
but we do have the rematch coming up in Japan. So did they set this up to where Nakamura is going to win his title back in his home country? We got to
I
take
think
that
so.
consideration.
I think so.
Yep.
Like I said, and like Matt said, we'll talk about that more next week. We just wanted a quick rundown
So
of
much
that.
to talk about. Jeez.
Awesome card, but it was great to see all those matches, and especially, like we said, Mickey James returning was awesome. So I like when they bring these veterans back to have these matches with the NXT, talent. So let's hope to see more of that in the future. But let's go back to
Zachary
Survivor
says
Series.
corn
We
husk.
talk about the. Well, sorry. What did you say, Paul?
Zachary says Cornhusk.
Yeah. Bang, 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 bang.
Oh, geez. Let's talk about that, though. You had the two matches that took place, again, weren't traditional Survivor Series matches, but they were Raw versus SmackDown in essence, because you had the Intercontinental title match. Sami Zayn represented Raw, and SmackDown represented The Miz. I'm sorry?
I was about to get this with you because I wanted to talk about the Cruiserweight match. That was a complete just waste of time, I think, on the card.
Yeah, so go ahead. Let's talk about that one first, then. The Cruiserweight. And there's really, that match to me, I think, nothing against the two of them.
It
I
was a
think
filler,
the two of them
it was a
could
filler match.
They had Corbin come out there and destroy both of them.
Pretty much he was just going after Kalisto. And here's the thing.
Yeah.
You say the guy had a knee injury. He looked perfectly fine. So
Exactly.
I
He comes out there and decimates both of them,
so
regardless
you're
of the
pretty
fact.
much telling me, he still could have been in the 5-on-5 is what
They
that's
just
what
wanted
I'm
they wanted
looking at.
Shane McMahon in there for star power.
Yeah.
That's what they wanted. And I think Corbin still should have been in that match. We'll get to that match last with Survivor Series, but nothing really special there. It was I'm glad to see Kalisto back, on TV again, because he was gone for like 3 months after he sold that, the beatdown he took from Corbin. So I would have liked to have seen SmackDown get the Cruiserweight division. I think it would have benefited them more. Raw has 3 hours and they don't use it enough. And with 205 Live going on right after SmackDown, I thought it was a perfect fit, but let's see what they have planned. The other match, like I said already, the Intercontinental title match, both of us didn't even predict that The Miz would be the champion. Going into the match, we thought Ziggler was going to be the champ. Miz would get involved somehow to give Sami Zayn the win. But instead, we get Maurice rings the bell, and The Miz, again, with an underhanded tactic, keeps his title. And to be honest with you, as much as people might say, like, they didn't want... I'm glad that Miz kept the title, and I'm glad that the title stays on SmackDown. I know that everyone... This is what makes The Miz, is him using these, cheating ways and having Maurice help him or having a Spirit Squad or doing something in order to win the match. So hopefully, we see a match down the road with Sami Zayn maybe again. Maybe Sami Zayn gets moved to SmackDown. I know there's talk tonight that Foley is going to confront Zayn about that loss. So maybe it's something that he'll say, you know what, I'm leaving. I'm done with Raw and goes to SmackDown. But I'm happy The Miz won. I don't know about you, Matt.
I'm happy too. Sami Zayn, we all, everyone roots for him now. When's he going to get like a winning streak going? But SmackDown couldn't afford to lose that title. I mean, you really going to give Raw all those titles? And it's funny you mentioned his cheating ways to win matches. I'm not comparing him to this guy. I'm comparing him to the way he wins matches. Eddie Guerrero used to cheat. Remember, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
That's right.
So,
obviously, like you said, not comparing him.
Not go on me for comparing him to Eddie. I am not. I'm just saying, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. There's no comparison.
No, there's not. There's only one Eddie Guerrero, and Matt and I both agree on that. But he definitely he uses that similar, the cheating in order to win. So I understand what you're saying there. Is there another match we're missing before we get to the last two? The women. There was the pre-show matches. They were announced so late. We really didn't cover much on those.
For whatever God knows reason why. Perkins, Swan, and Dar defeated Gulak, Nice, and Daivari. It's
those matches were really nothing. They weren't even announced till 30 minutes before. So
I think, they were put together minutes before.
And to not give Harper the win, I don't understand that. But hey,
We'll talk about that later.
to each their own. Yeah. So let's move on to the final two matches of the night. The traditional Survivor Series match. Obviously, we had the Raw women versus the SmackDown women. The Raw women prevailed. Not necessarily what we predicted. I know Matt and I both thought that Nia Jax would be a huge part of the reason they won. Unfortunately, they didn't necessarily do that as we expected.
They went when they had to go with Bailey.
They did have Bailey and Charlotte as the final two.
But then afterwards, Charlotte had Bailey. So, I mean, but here's the funny thing. Bailey gets the win for her team, but Sasha has the title match tonight. So we'll see how that goes. I know they're trying to hold off Bailey and Sasha as much as they can until WrestleMania. We both talked about this. So really, you got Roadblock coming up, which you'll probably see something with Sasha and Charlotte again. Then you got the Rumble. And then you get one all pay-per-view, so it's almost like they're trying to hold them over for 4 pay-per-views so they can get to WrestleMania for Bailey and Sasha. And I think you can agree with that too. They're gonna try to push out Sasha and Charlotte as much as you can until WrestleMania comes around, and then Bailey's gonna come involved. That's what they're trying to do.
That's what it almost seems like.
We've said this since last year. They want Bailey and Sasha at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's the match. I think that's been built for a while now. So. I think it's just a matter of when, and I think WrestleMania is the time and the place for it to happen. So, what did you think on the SmackDown side? Any surprises there?
Well, just that they took out Bella before the match even started. Obviously, everyone's like, oh, it's probably Carmella. I think she'll come out to be Natalya was the one who did it. Or maybe someone returning. Maybe another heel coming back knocked her out. Who knows?
Yeah, it's possible.
Maybe it was Emma.
Yeah. Maybe she did, yeah, even though she's going to be on Raw. That's a possibility.
We don't know.
She could have did it to help her team, yeah. She was a team captain, technically.
Yep.
So, last match tonight, to me, I think, was the match. Go ahead.
Before this match starts, how long was SmackDown versus Raw? The men's side, how long do you think this match was?
I think it's got to be close to an hour, man.
You're right. 52 minutes and 55 seconds. I mean, it was a good, and it was nonstop action through the entire time. So many teases on something's going to happen. But, just get into that match. God must be with Shane McMahon, man. The stuff that he does for his age, not being a full-time wrestler, only doing matches here and there, the bumps that this guy takes, no one can question his loyalty to this company. After being gone for so long, doing his own thing, to come back and doing the things that he do, you can't say, oh, he's not loyal, he left for those years. Because for him to come back and do the stuff he's doing right now, that's loyalty to his father and to his family and to this company.
100%. I couldn't agree with you more on that.
Bump he took against Roman Reigns.
That was rough, man.
First off, his head hit the mat. They've already said he had a concussion. Roman looked like he freaking broke him in half. And you can say, ooh, it was projected. Roman's not a small guy, and Shane's a lot smaller than Roman.
Yeah.
And
not taken away from Shane, but he's a big boy, Roman.
And I mean, and you got to look at it. He's doing a coast to coast, so he's normally doing a drop kick. So you have to. It's the angle. I mean, everything just had to go in the right spot there. But one thing I want to say after that, what happened was, Paul, this was pretty cool. Shane was again taken to the back by the officials. You can tell he was knocked out dazed. Randy Orton actually in mid-match went to Shane McMahon's kid and said. He said something like, look, your dad's going to be fine, and completely broke character in the middle of the match.
Oh, that's
you don't
cool.
see that too often, but that just shows the kind of guy Randy is, too.
Yeah,
He's come a long way from the stuff you've heard about him before.
How old is Shane's kids?
He's got 3. I think the oldest might be like 10.
I think
he's not very old.
That was out there, I think.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was the oldest, but they were young. So he went over there and made sure. It wasn't like he waited for he just went over there real quick and just probably told him, like Matt said, hey, your dad's all right.
Because you saw Bray was walking to him, and Bray saw what he was doing, and Bray quickly turned away real quick to try to get the attention off of Randy, it seemed like.
Yeah.
Because you could see Bray looked, and then Bray walked to where everyone else was fighting at.
Yeah,
when something like that happens, you got to redo your thing real quick, because they were like...
Yeah.
They're like, crap. Then they started fighting on the outside, so I'm sure...
Yeah, they kind of all froze. Like, we don't know. They were probably... One of them was probably supposed to get in the ring right away, and they were like, all right, wait, he's not... He's
let's just
he's
fight
hurt,
on the outside
so
real quick.
let's just go outside real quick and get this cleaned up, cleared up before we figure out where we're supposed to go next with the match.
Yeah, but the whole match was great, man.
Yeah, what about the first elimination for Team Raw, Braun Strowman, thanks to James Ellsworth
Oh God, no. Oh yeah, Strowman. I
for
was talking
Raw,
about the
for Team
first
Raw.
overall together.
Dean Ambrose got eliminated from Team SmackDown first, due to him and AJ Styles not being able to coexist. And that ultimately got him, eliminated by Strowman. But when Strowman was trying to get back in the ring after getting RKO'd on top of the table and then Shane jumping and elbowing, him through the table, as he was about to get back in the ring, you see that he couldn't really, get up to get through the ropes, and then they pan out and you see Ellsworth's arms wrapped around his foot, and he just flung Ellsworth around like a rag doll, man. When he threw him off the stage through the table, I was like, that's it. Ellsworth's done.
You can tell he was going for the other table, and I really do believe if Strowman wanted to, he could throw him completely more.
I think
than
he could have cleared all three tables. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he could have put him all the way past it. But Ellsworth, quite possibly had the biggest help to Team SmackDown right there. The unsung hero by keeping the monster of Team Raw out of the match. But it's not like they didn't have to do a lot. I mean, he took the RKO, he took the elbow, and he was still about to get back in the ring.
And then that's
So-
when the problem for Raw started, because once Strowman went out, and then Kevin Owens got DQ'd for using the list.
Yeah,
And
which
then
I'm
after
happy because
that-
I thought they were going to let that roll at one point
And then after that, Jericho went out after that.
because he could not
you were going
recompose
crazy
himself.
over DQ, because you're like, you're allowing a count out. What's going on here?
Yeah, because he was still beating him, and he hit him with a power bomb, and they weren't calling nothing. I'm like, what's going on here? So I'm glad, but Jericho could not regain his composure after that, so it
You got
kind of cost
RKO.
him. It cost him that, and then Orton RKO'd him, and just like that, it was 4-on-2. In favor of, and then like you said already, we talked about Shane McMahon taking that huge bump. That made it 3-on-2, and then Ambrose, being Dean Ambrose, the lunatic fringe, was not going to let it sit that AJ got him eliminated earlier. So he came back down and attacked AJ from behind, leading to what everyone was hoping to see at least, once that night, and that was a Shield reunion. As there it is right there, Ambrose, Rollins, and Reigns one last time, or I shouldn't say one last time, another time for one night only, did a triple powerbomb to AJ Styles, which
And this was
ultimately-
actually the first time those three looked like they were back on the same page since being
Yes, it
Shield.
wasn't like a thing where like Rollins was the heel as that happened when they did it to Orton last year.
They looked.
But it was at Survivor Series where they first debuted. The three of them put AJ through the table, ultimately taking AJ out and making it a 2-on-2 match. And that's where I really was like, you know what, man, I cannot believe that they're going to let Team Raw sweep the night, because I was like, they had all the odds in their favor. Someone else, I was like, Orton's going to go next. I'm really hoping I'm wrong, but let's be, let me hope I'm wrong. Rollins is about to go for a frog splash. Orton RKO's Rollins. Wyatt eliminates him. Then when it looks like this is it, Wyatt and Orton are on the outside of the ring. All of a sudden, Luke Harper shows up, and the three of them are now surrounding the ring. And Roman is just on his own, and he really couldn't, he tried. He's about to spear Wyatt when Orton, to one of the biggest shocks of the night for me, pushed Wyatt out of the way to take the spear, allowing Wyatt to his sister Abigail, and Wyatt winning the match for Team SmackDown.
and then you have.
And him and Orton being the sole survivors.
And not only
Randy
did you
Orton
have,
is one
then
of
you
the
had
best
Harper
at
come in the ring
Survivor
and they all
Series in these
celebrated.
matches. Yeah, all three of them. It's a combination that is going to be a trio that not necessarily many people are going to want to face, but I'm glad to see that Bray Wyatt got the win. We've been talking about him needing huge wins on pay-per-view. That's now 2 pay-per-views in a row that he's been on, that he's won main events, with him against Orton, and now him being one of the final 2 members of Team SmackDown in a star-studded match, and a great match at that. I was happy with the outcome. I would have liked SmackDown to maybe win 2 of the 3 matches, but they won. The one the most important one to me, which was allowing Bray Wyatt to be the star that he was. And I think this is why Corbin was ultimately taken out of the match, because this was meant to be Wyatt's night. And I'm perfectly fine with it. And Orton continues his streak as one of the best in Survivor Series elimination matches. So, what do you think overall for the card?
Better than SummerSlam, better than
Yes.
WrestleMania. I think so far this year is probably one of the top 3 pay-per-views so far this year.
Out of the
and
big 4, besides the Rumble, I think this was 2 behind the Rumble for the
Yeah.
big 4 for me.
Well, of course, the Rumble's always going to be almost number 1. But you know what? Even with the 4 hours, they didn't go to 4 hours. They went to like 10:40, and we thought, honestly, I thought Taker was going to come out sooner or later or something like that. But
Something, or The Rock, because it was his
Ended
20th
early?
anniversary.
which was great. I think they just did the 4 hours. They didn't know what was going to happen,
Yep.
but it was great. Didn't drag it
Quality
out.
over quantity is huge. Quality. That's what you need.
The
SmackDown
quality
does
was
it time
great.
and time again.
They finally now. This doesn't say for every big pay-per-view go out and do 4 hour. Go out and do 4 hours. Learn when to do it. When's to be done. Like SummerSlam, didn't need it. WrestleMania, okay, maybe. But this was a pay-per-view where you could do the 4 hours and it was great.
Yeah. Match of the night. You agree? 5-on-5, Raw versus SmackDown, the men, or do you think there was a match that was better?
No, that was it.
Or the tag team? You think the men?
Yep.
The women's was good too, but I think the men had the best match of the night considering the amount of time they were given too.
Star of the
Star of the night. I'm gonna go with Bray. I think he was made out to be a bona fide star in that match. How about you?
Goldberg beat the Beast.
All right, fair enough.
I think they built Brock up to be this unstoppable force, and minute 25. It's all it took for all that stuff they've done for him for the past 2 years. Only took a minute and 25 just to see ya.
Yep.
Goodbye.
See ya. That was it. Well, I know it's crazy. We're wrapping up on SummerSlam. There's already a pay-per-view this Sunday already for the SmackDown exclusive TLC that we got a preview now. There's been 6 matches announced so far. One of them is still pending on who wins the match on SmackDown on Tuesday. So far we know. Let's start with the matches that aren't for titles. The first match is Kalisto versus Baron Corbin. We almost expected this match to happen in a chairs match.
Corbin should win. There's no way Kalisto
Corbin's
should even
gonna
have
win.
a chance.
I think Corbin's going to roll and continue. I think that this is... I'm going to be honest with you. We haven't really talked about him in a while. Obviously, he didn't make his return at Survivor Series like we had talked about months ago, that we thought this is where he'd, re-show up at least to be the SmackDown, captain. I think Cena might come out there. I think Corbin might be, continuing to attack Kalisto or something, and then Cena makes his return and goes right after Corbin. What do you think?
I like that theory, especially with them talking about this could be the feud coming up, and this would be a great time to do it.
Yeah, especially since now they're saying at Mania it looks like it's going to be Taker and Cena. This gives him that match maybe at, the Rumble for Cena to have with Corbin or something like that, or even their next exclusive pay-per-view or a feud between the two of them. But who knows how they're going to do it. But I definitely think that Cena could make his return at some point on TLC on Sunday. But I will agree with you, Corbin all the way for me on that match. The second match, that's not for a title. It's a women's match. It's Nikki Bella versus Carmella in a no DQ match.
What
Obviously,
can women
like you
even
said,
do in a no
they're
DQ
saying
match?
is Carmella going to be the one that was attacking Nikki backstage?
I don't think so. I think someone's going to come out and attack Nikki during the middle of the match since it's no DQ. Whether it's a returning superstar, whether it's Natalia, I think Carmella gets the victory here.
I got Carmella winning too. Yeah, I think that she needs it. I think they're doing good
Being with
things
John
over there.
Cena can only get you so far in this company.
Oh, geez, here it goes.
What, did I say something? Oh,
I think that they need to continue to push Carmella since she is from NXT and the SmackDown Women's Division over there. Obviously, isn't as star power as Raw is, but they have a lot of young, talent from NXT that could really be, big players there on the SmackDown roster. So I'll agree with you on that. That's 2 in a row. I'm hoping maybe here soon we'll disagree, but the next match is now the second of one of our, TLC gimmick matches, if you want to call it, and it's the ladder match for the Intercontinental title. It's The Miz, the champion, versus Dolph Ziggler. Matt? I'm with you on this. It's a tough one for me as well.
Miz. I'm liking the Miz.
Yeah. I think that The Miz continues his reign. I just don't like that they play hot potato with it, so I think that The Miz should continue his reign. Now, after tonight on Raw happens with Zayn and Foley, do you think if something goes down, Zayn gets involved, or do you think now that it's just going to be the two of them?
I still believe Zayn is getting traded to SmackDown, and this could become a triple threat ladder match.
Okay.
Could be, but either way, I'm going to go
if
with
he
Miz.
does get added, does he win the match?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. I'm going to stick with The Miz no matter what happens. I think Miz is keeping the title as far as that's concerned. So there's our disagree. Well, no, we agree with The Miz. If it's Zayn in the match, then you go to Zayn, but you stick with The Miz if it's just Miz and Ziggler. All right, this match right here to me is actually the match I'm looking forward to the most out of any of the matches on the card, and it's the tag team title match. Now, they haven't announced a tables match yet, so I'm thinking this might be where the table stipulations added. since we have the ladder, the chair match, and then of course the TLC match, which we'll talk about, will be the main event of the night. But it's Heath Slater and Rhino defending the tag team titles, and we thought American Alpha won a 6-pack challenge, so they were going to be to get the right to be the number 1 contenders. But we found out that now this week, Tuesday night, SmackDown Live, Orton and Wyatt will face American Alpha for the right to go to TLC to face One Man Gore, Rhino, and Slater.
Anthony,
Yes.
run.
Is that your prediction?
That is my prediction.
And
I
you
think
predict
the Wyatt family wins tonight, and they're going to win on Sunday. It's time for Bray Wyatt to have a damn championship in WWE. How has this guy been around for almost 2 years and not had
over
a
2 years.
Huh?
Over 2 years.
How has he been around for over 2 years and not had a title? Anything. I don't care. He could have had the damn cruiserweight for all I care and been happy about it. Why is this guy not have a title? This is the time to put the title on him. Him and Randy Orton have so much momentum from Survivor Series. You're going to tell me American Alpha is going to come in and beat the surviving members of SmackDown? You're going to tell me One Man Gore is going to beat the surviving members of SmackDown? No, not believable. Wyatt family wins tonight, and they decimate One Man Gore. Heath Slater, sorry about your 10 kids.
There you go, Matt. I listen, man. You're preaching to the choir on that one. I cannot agree more with you on that. The Wyatt family are walking into SmackDown Live, they're walking out number 1 contenders, and they're walking out Sunday with the tag team championships. Wyatt finally gets the gold that he deserves here in the WWE. Way overdue. I don't even know, like you said, it's easily over 2 years. It might even be, it's probably longer than that. How he's never held a title. I know Harper's held a title in the Wyatt family, but it's time for Bray Wyatt to be pushed to the next level.
Can I go back real quick about something?
Go ahead.
You're picking Bray Wyatt, right?
Yeah.
Just thought about something. I don't know why I didn't think about this earlier. I want to go back to Nikki versus Carmella, and I'm going to change my theory on who knocked her out.
Okay, who is it?
Whose place did Nikki Bella take at SummerSlam? Because they were suspended.
Eva Marie.
There you go.
That's definitely plausible. She hasn't been around, so
when something comes to my head, I got to say it.
No, you don't need to apologize. That definitely makes sense that he could be the one that did it. I'm sorry, Jesus. I'm thinking about Orton and Wyatt still. I'm sorry,
All right,
Eva
go back
Marie.
to Wyatt. I'm sorry.
That she can make sense. No. I think Orton and Wyatt need to be built up to be, credible, like I said, and I think that this is the way to do it, and this just continues to elevate Wyatt's star, and make him why the SmackDown is the land of opportunity, as Shane and Daniel Bryan call it. So that's one of the matches, like I said, I can't wait to watch it. So I'm really hoping that the two of them come out victorious. The second to last match of the night, the women's title match, Alexa Bliss gets her rematch since technically her foot was on the rope against Becky Lynch, the champion. I got Becky Lynch retaining the title. I think Alexa Bliss is awesome, but I just don't see Lynch losing a title yet.
I don't.
What do you think?
I got Lynch winning.
You got Lynch winning?
I think Lynch may hold this title actually for a while, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, I think
can
so
see it
too.
up to maybe WrestleMania.
And like I said, nothing against Alexa Bliss. I think she's awesome, but I think that they're going to continue with Lynch as the champion for at least 3, maybe even Mania, like you said. I'd say through the end of the year, though, easy. Mm-hmm. So obviously that's not much longer. I can't believe it's already almost December this week. It's unbelievable. But, yeah, before you know it, we'll be talking about WrestleMania predictions. So last match of the night, TLC match. Hoping this is the final match between the two of them. Champion AJ Styles.
For God's
Ambrose,
sake,
the
please.
challenger.
How many freaking rematches can we have?
I'm going with AJ Styles winning the match, ending the feud, moving on for both of them.
I'm going with AJ. And then here's my bold prediction of the evening. Undertaker comes out and challenges AJ for a world title match at the Royal Rumble.
All right.
And this is where you're going to set up Cena versus Taker at WrestleMania. I'm going ahead. I'm going with my bold prediction right now. John Cena will win the Royal Rumble.
Oh, no, not again. I can't watch that guy win another Rumble. It might happen.
I think we're going to have both these guys come back. Like you said, I can agree with the Baron Corbin thing. I agree with Undertaker coming back. If you want these two at WrestleMania, you got to set in stone, and you got to give Cena a reason to want to face Taker.
No, I agree. I think that's definitely the
sooner or later
he's
going
to
get number 16.
And what better way to do it than against the Undertaker at WrestleMania? I
So
couldn't agree
I'm
more with you on
looking
that
so far
when it
down
comes
the
to
road.
that.
I'm looking so far down the road, but I have Taker coming because he just said 2 weeks ago, WrestleMania will no longer define me. Where you been? You said that, and then you left again. You're almost doing what CM Punk said people are doing. They're coming and then they're going.
I hope that Undertaker shows up sooner rather than later on SmackDown, and I think it could be as soon as, like you said, this Sunday at TLC. So with that being said now, we might have other matches announced for the pre-show. As of right now, like I said, there's still no tables match technically. I think that it will be announced soon. Match of the night, who are you going with?
Ladder match.
Ziggler and Miz?
Yep. And if you
I'm gonna
add
go with
Sami
the
Zayn, it'll be even better.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the TLC match. I think that Ambrose and AJ have had great matches already, but I think this match is really going to elevate them to the next level for the two of
Last
them
time Zayn was in a
for their feud.
ladder match, he almost killed Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
We all thought he did.
Yeah, there was some spot they took, but I think, I'm going to go with AJ and Ambrose. Star of the night.
Star of the night. You know what? He hasn't really had his chance to shine yet. I'm going to say Corbin.
Okay. That's fair. I'm going to go with Becky Lynch. I think Becky Lynch will be the star of the night in her title defense.
Now, are these TLC matches, are they having where the championship is on top? Because sometimes I've seen where the title hasn't been with the ladder. And
the TLC match itself should have the title at the top.
Sometimes they've had it where it's
and
not.
you're right. No, they do that, but it should be. It should be that it's up at the top above the ring for them to grab.
I hate
Obviously, Ziggler and Miz will be like that, but
I hate when they've had TLC matches without that. And it's like, this match was made for that.
Yeah. So 2 matches you're going to have to win by, you would think, by ascending the ladder to grab the title. Or as Jericho would say, you have to climb the ladder and give these people what they want. You got to give these people what they need. You know what you got to give them, Matt?
Oh, jeez.
The gift of Jericho. Drink it in, man.
First off, before we go, people who are wondering TLC where it came from, please go back in YouTube, wherever, find Hardy's versus Dudley versus Edge and Christian, the first TLC match, and you'll see why this match is so
awesome
special.
match.
These guys put these matches on the map.
I couldn't agree more with you. If you haven't seen original TLC matches, don't get me wrong, it's going to be a good one on Sunday, but you need to watch the originals, the innovators of this match. Those guys really set the bar high, and I don't think you've had good, like I said, you've had good TLC matches, but you've never had one as good as what those guys did.
Spearing Hardy doing swantons.
Yep.
Now,
busting his tailbone too in the process of hitting that swanton off the top of the ladder.
Predictions for real quick. Let's just go in predictions for tonight real quick. Does Sami Zayn get traded?
No.
Do we see Cesaro getting traded?
No.
No one's switching shows?
No, Cesaro and Sheamus are going to get a rematch at Roadblock, the next Raw exclusive pay-per-view.
I think they're
for
going to win the titles.
I don't even want to talk about what's going to happen. Gallows and Anderson are not going to win either. No, that's my question to that. They will not win tonight. Could you see that maybe happening? Gallows and Anderson somehow they get cheated out of it. No, not winning. They get cheated out of it.
I can see
and then maybe
up
some
for
type of big
triple
five team match, and then that's finally how the New Day loses.
I hope so. And then they'll be like, "Oh, we didn't get pinned." Oh.
Yeah, exactly. You know that's going to happen, but I definitely think that's something that could happen.
Biggest prediction of the night: does Enzo walk around butt naked?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, good.
Now, prediction of a match we know that's going to take place. Does Sasha win the title back, or does Charlotte keep it?
You got to set up for another rematch, so you can't keep getting Bailey. Maybe then Sasha wins it tonight.
I got Charlotte retaining and moving on.
Okay.
To what? Not sure, but moving on.
All right.
Maybe Emelina gets involved somehow, finally debuting tonight, because they've been talking about her.
She will not, because apparently she's in Jamaica, so God knows if she got back in time.
Golly, man. They've been talking about her debuting for months. It needs to just happen.
Well, you have your chance now, because her and Ryder are done, apparently.
That's all right.
You have your chance.
Oh, yeah? Did we have... I think we covered pretty much everything what's supposed to happen on Raw. Obviously, Owens and Jericho. Oh, can we talk about Owens and Jericho last week? Everyone thought that it was going to happen, that the two of them were going to, break up, that was going to be it.
Then who do they blame?
And then they said, do you know whose fault this is?
1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns. And they hugged. And, I mean, the reaction from the crowd was priceless. And Jericho, I really thought that was it. I was like, finally, they're going to give Jericho some kind of feud with Owens. But they continued to pull. And you know what? These two together, it's gold every time. So I'm not too upset that the two of them didn't break up, their team. And they're still best friends. So we'll see how that works. SmackDown, we talked about it already. Orton and Wyatt are rolling into TLC to get the tag team titles. What's next with Ellsworth? What do you think? I heard someone the other day, it's actually really Jonathan Coachman actually said it, that he thinks that if played correctly, Ambrose and Ellsworth could be the next Rock and Sock connection.
That'd be great. I wouldn't mind that. That'd be kind of funny.
Yeah. Could you see that maybe one of the titles at some point?
Ambrose is going to turn on Ellsworth sooner or later.
Yeah.
He'll find him as an annoying guy. But I think Ellsworth, maybe we'll see him on 205. Who knows?
Yeah, and 205 is that Tuesday night this week? The 205 live debuts. I think that debuts this week, so that should be cool to see too. I know we have a we have a cruiserweight title match between Swan and Kendrick on the debut, so that'll be cool to see. My prediction is Kendrick continues his title reign for a little longer at least, but I'm glad to see Swan in the title picture and not just him and Perkins over and over again. So definitely interesting stuff coming up. Obviously excited for TLC. And then we're going to have a pay-per-view to talk about 2 weeks again right after that. So then we'll have a little bit of break until the Royal Rumble. But a lot of stuff coming up. I think that's pretty much it. We wanted to make sure tonight that we covered Survivor Series and TLC preview. We'll hope to be back with you guys next week. As far as I know, we will be here next week. We'll talk about TLC and figure out, we'll talk more about TakeOver since we didn't get to do that tonight. But I'm going to hand it over to you, Paul.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, everyone, for watching. If you get a chance, go ahead and, if you're watching on Facebook, head over to our YouTube channel first. First, go ahead and like us on our Facebook page. And then head over to the YouTube channel and subscribe. That way, whenever you make sure you don't miss any new episodes coming out or any news that's being posted or events or anything like that. So it's a great way to interact with Matt, myself, and Anthony, and they'd love to hear from you. Love to hear what your opinions on the matches, what you're looking forward to in the upcoming weekend. So that'd help out the show tremendously. And share it to your friends if you like what you see. So but as always, you can tweet us at OT3Podcast1, send us an email, ot3podcast@gmail.com. And of course, Facebook /Off the Top Turnbuckles, where you could find the show. That's it. That does it for me.
All right. Breaking news. I just got an update that Paul Heyman will be there tonight at Monday Night Raw to address the shocking Survivor Series match outcome between Lesnar and Goldberg. So we'll see how that gets further. Then maybe if we find out that Lesnar is now the second man to be entered into the Royal Rumble for the Raw side. So we'll see how that pans out. Sorry to cut you off there, Paul. I didn't realize that we were going to have Heyman tonight on Raw, so that's definitely something interesting that will happen tonight.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
And then, of course, like Paul said, please, I know we have it on Facebook. It would really help us out, though, if you could go over to YouTube. I saw a lot of people shared our video tonight on Facebook. We do appreciate that, but if you could head over to YouTube, give us a quick view on there, a comment, a follow. Any of that would be so helpful to us, and we really do appreciate the shares and everyone, commenting on our videos. It's a great help, and we truly appreciate you guys watching every week with us. For Matt and myself and Paul and Chris, tomorrow we'll be on the Shipe Sports Talk. Crazy, rivalry week in college football, so we'll have some college football to talk. And we're getting to the title game, so we're going to be talking, the college football rankings. Big ranking coming out this week before the title games, and some teams don't have games, so it could be a huge thing if they're not in the top 4 going into this week, because they could not be they could be on the outside looking in, even though they're in the top 4. So it's going to be an interesting week in college football, and the NFL is getting right down to the wire. A lot of teams staying around that wild card and in their division. So we'll definitely have a lot to talk about on that tomorrow. Matt, I saw you were
just real quick, prayers out to everyone affected by Ohio State University's little tragedy today. Not little, but tragedy today. Thank God they said no one was no deaths occurred from any of the students there, only the suspects. So Ohio State University, you're in our prayers, and we're all thinking of you.
Absolutely. 100%.
Everyone's a Buckeye today.
Thank you for that, Matt. And last but not least, before I close it out, we talked about Shy Sports Talk, obviously, on Tuesday. Paul, you know I'm coming to you Wednesday.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's coming, ladies and gentlemen. It's coming, but not yet. Not
Can
yet.
you feel it? It's so close.
So, with that being said, from myself, Matt, and Paul, we want to say thank you for watching OT3 episode 28. We hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving, and we know the holiday season is getting underway even more now with December already right around the corner. So we hope everyone continues to watch every Monday night, and we'll see you back on Monday night next week for OT3. Thanks again. I hope everyone has a great night. Enjoy Raw and Smackdown on Tuesday.
See ya.